Hey, I'm Bruce Sallin. You can find me at brucesallin.com. That's SALLAN.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Bruce Sallin. Follow the A Dad's Point of View Facebook page. And join Dad Chat, which is every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. But whatever you do not watch 8-Bit Dad. I mean, come on. Get a life.
Last time I went there, I got like batteries and like one of those fucking things that you like put down your toilet and like pull up the hair.
Pull up the hair?
Yeah.
What hair?
Or in your drain, not toilet.
It's like taking showers in your toilet now?
I have extremely hairy shit. Whenever my wife leaves hair in the shower, I eat it.
And then it goes in the toilet.
Because I like to have, when I take a shit, it looks like nunchucks in the toilet. It's like turd.
Hello and welcome to 8-Bit Dad. I am Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg. 8-Bit Dad is the modern parent source for real fatherly opinions. And on this NSFL show, we talk about some of the weekly top stories from 8bitdad.com.
That's right, we are the founding fathers of 8-Bit Dad, and we like to share parenthood news from across the internet. We tackle important issues within the fatherhood community. And we feature exclusive interviews you won't find anywhere else. That's the definition of exclusive. And we blog about our own personal stories of triumph and sadness.
And burning loins.
Yes.
And if you have a story about your burning loins that you'd like to tip us off to, then you can email us at dads@8bitdad.com. And if you'd like to write for us, and we know that you do after some of the exciting stuff that we've been putting up lately, you can petition to become one of the dads. Contribute. One of the dads of the century. At contribute at 8bitdad.com.
Yes, and you can follow us on Twitter, which is twitter.com/8bitdads, and be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/8bitdad. And you can also repin our shit on Pinterest, which is pinterest.com/8bitdads.
You can join us on Google+. And that's gplus.to/8bitdad.
Who cares about that?
That's it's been not been kind to us.
Nope. Neither has Ustream today.
Totally.
We're in episode 32, and the Kings are still rocking strong.
Totally.
So stoked about this. 2 wins. We got Monday and Wednesday.
I've got I have like a friendly, gentlemanly bet going on with at Read Brad the Dad on Twitter.
One of the Dad Labs guys.
No.
Oh, never mind.
Kind of, but no. Though he'd probably appreciate you.
They go by
like Daddy Brad and Daddy.
Yeah, they do the daddy thing.
It's not that Daddy Brad. It's Read Dad the Brad.
Okay.
I mean, fuck. Maybe he is one of the guys from Dad Labs. In which case, sorry, I don't think he is though, because I think
not.
Daddy Brad's in Texas.
Yeah.
And this guy's in like Massachusetts or something with
okay.
him. But he and I have kind of a thing going. Brad Marmo.
Yep.
There you go.
I
was going to say that, and I was afraid to fuck it up.
He's got the mug.
He's in
mug shot.
Massachusetts, and he is a Devils fan.
Uh-oh.
So
what is he?
During the playoffs,
He's not a Bruins fan?
We were kind of going back and forth. I guess not.
Is he from New Jersey? I don't know.
I don't know, but he's into the Devils.
Know.
He's into the Devils, and I during the playoffs and still am really like I'm into Brodeur because he's such a good goal. I mean, he's like just been
Did you see those goals?
The fucking snags he was doing. Yeah.
And he would catch it.
The dude is fucking crazy.
I mean, you can't like sit there with your glove like you're playing baseball. Like,
yeah,
you have
you probably could, but you'd let a lot of goals by you.
You have to swipe
at
it when
he'd
you're
snag him out of the... I mean, he's crazy. He did it like twice. So he's a big fan of the Devils, so we've been kind of going back and forth. And
I like the Devils colors.
He's got a respect for the Kings, too. So we've kind of like just been going back and forth, but we have like a gentlemanly bet about the Stanley Cup. Every time the Kings win, he has to tweet that he loves the Kings with like the Kings account, and every time the Devils win, which they haven't yet, I have to tweet that I love the Devils with the Devils account on there.
Okay.
So he's a couple times had to tweet that he loves the LA Kings. So it's starting to get painful because you know, and he was at the game yesterday too.
Oh, he was.
So
that was a tough loss.
He like right after the game was like, I love the LA Kings. Like he had to do it from his seat basically. I was like, man, I'm feeling bad for you right now. I mean, I hope the Devils are great. They're playing great.
It was an intense game.
It's been, I mean, how many didn't they go to OT in both games so far?
Yeah, same thing. One goal, they traded a goal and then they went to overtime, and I was just like,
it's going to be a long, hard fought series. And there are going to be some.
Well, those are the two games that the Kings needed to win on the road.
Totally.
And they tied their record for the most away games
because they're back. They're back at home after this one, right? For 2 games.
2 more games, yeah.
Is it like basketball? Do they do like 2, 1, 2 the other, and then 1, 1, 1?
I think so. That's how it goes.
I'm like the oldest.
I'm like half Canadian coming out.
I'm like the oldest, newest hockey fan. It's like I watched hockey like
Canadian.
15 years ago, and then
you want to fight about it?
Last couple of years. Yeah. But anyway, go Kings.
Go Kings. We're still rocking the playoff beard.
Which I won some razor for having like I think it was called like
fiercest beard or something?
The hairiest Stanley competition. I don't know, man. I just tweeted with the hashtag and someone let me know I won. So
you are not in the right competition.
Yeah, totally. If you like this one, I got something else for you. But so I mentioned in the beginning of the show that this is an NSFL show.
Yeah, what is that?
That's not safe for life.
No.
We were told by our buddy Whit Miso Honey from Babel's Dadding that our show is not safe for work, which he was told by his mother.
Can we quote him? Can we quote his mother?
Can we get a hold of his mother?
Can we get a video of his mother saying
Whit,
that?
Can we get a video of your mom telling people not to watch us because we're not safe for work?
That would be awesome.
I'd love it. Because I guess he had retweeted or he had reposted our post saying, hey, I was talked about on 8-Bit Dad. His mom watched and then pointed out to him, those guys...
They say fuck a lot.
Their language is not that savory. I agree.
You know...
What are you going to do?
We keep it real.
That's I think that's what we offer over a lot of the fatherhood shows because a lot of the other ones are like...
What are you going to do? I mean...
We're out there to prove that we're good dads.
Fuck.
We're not.
We're not.
No, we are, just not in the language department. We save it for the show, actually. I think is what happens is I hold it back all week, and then once I get to the show, it's like downhill immediately. So now that that's out of the way.
Yes. We had a podcast question.
Hey, we haven't had one of those for a couple weeks.
Have you ever been to the emergency room with your child?
Yes.
The only time that I've personally been to the emergency room was when she was born.
Oh, yeah?
No, actually, she wasn't in the ER. It wasn't the ER. It was just the hospital.
It was the OR. The
OR.
Or the DR delivery room?
Yeah. This isn't the regular room.
It was the fucking hospital.
So...
I was there once, and I will not go again. I
needed it to be quicker.
Ding!
Evidently, shit is popping off.
All right.
Yeah, we were there because our kid... One day, I forget how old he was.
Didn't he swallow something?
Just a hair over 2 or something. Yeah, he said he did. Turns out he didn't, asshole. But yeah, he started like pointing to his mouth and his throat and then saying he swallowed a frog. And the only thing we could think of was that my mother-in-law had given him these little plastic frogs. Thanks, Mom. And I mean, this thing was statistically way too big for his throat. Like this thing would not have gone down there without him like holding his own mouth open and someone putting their fist down his throat with it. So it's like he could have never done that. But when you're in the moment and your kid's like, I swallowed a frog.
Especially when
and he started like, totally. Second kid, we're gonna be like, fucking cry it out, asshole. But he started like, he'd say that it hurt to swallow. Ooh. That's what got us, was that he was saying he would hold like saliva in his mouth and say it hurt to swallow. So we're like,
and kids can be creative with that shit too. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
You got to take their word for it, but at the same time,
I think we might have talked about this on one of the earlier shows, but yeah, I mean, I made the decision. I was like, look, I have got to put my foot down and make a decision, and the decision is, let's go. So we waited a couple hours, and the fucking kid was fine the second we were in the hospital, and we still got the fucking x-rays done, and haven't paid that bill yet. It was like $1,600.
I can tell you about a time that I thought
we'd have insurance.
We were going to go to the emergency room. My wife and I were driving, and kids screaming the whole time. And then suddenly she gets quiet. We look back, and she's got her mouth open. The bobby pin that she had in her hair is now vertically.
Oh God!
Going like that,
her mouth
and she's
open.
freaking out. Like she's starting to freak out because she can't close her mouth.
Oh fuck! Oh my God!
And I was like, oh God, it's gonna go through her fucking roof of her mouth.
Oh, shit!
We're gonna have to go to the hospital. It's gonna have to like.
Or she'd have a really cool piercing.
I had a lip piercing.
An edgy piercing.
So I was driving, and I'm like, bobby pin. And my wife, like, just sticks her hand in her mouth and just rips it out. And it just scared her a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
She was fine, but for a minute there, I thought we were like, oh,
on your way. Yeah, totally. You're like, well, we're already in the car.
Because she likes to, whatever.
Put her life in danger.
Yeah.
Like all kids.
Thanks.
It looks like our, that's scary.
Yeah.
It looks like our cohort, Justin Westbrook.
Wargasm
Westbrook.
ER visits.
Yeah, countless ER visits. He's got 3 kids, so just in case you didn't
3
hear
boys.
me, I just put it right here. He's got 3 kids, and a few squeeze us in to see the doc visits. He's also done. Whooping cough, sustained fevers around 104. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Split scalp. Yuck. And one time when my oldest had to have his tongue sewn back on after he bit most of the tip off at age 2. I'll pass on that mental image again. My littles, which I mentally read as my titties originally, my littles are always doing something to go see the doc, but I don't really worry about the cost. I know I had to reread it just because I was like, my titties. He doesn't have those. I don't think.
And also my titties.
I don't really worry about the cost. I have federally funded big government commie healthcare, which turns out to be pretty good after all. God, that's nice. My kids got insurance. I don't.
I had to go to urgent care. I didn't go to the ER though, but I was just reminded of when my daughter had a raging temperature, and
totally.
I think it was close to 100.
And they're like, "Here's some aspirin," and where's our $25?
Yep.
I'm like, fuck you.
Thanks, urgent care.
Asshole.
Brian Baker says that he was at work when his older sister called him. Her dog had bit his 3-year-old son.
Oh fuck.
On his arm. His son was crying, kept saying the dog bit him. They had to do stitches. He screamed the entire time. Still loves dogs. Still a trooper, and he says that his relationship with his sister has been different ever since. So it's kind of hard to trust a relative, when you're in that situation. I know Babel just had a story. That's got to be tough, though. I think it was Babel, and I think it was a story. I might have dreamed this about something about like do you sue your family when they drop your kid or something? That was somewhere. It was either Huffington Post or Babel. Doesn't matter because we're not going to talk about it. So, Bruce Allen, our buddy Bruce, who was on the show 2 weeks ago. Yeah. He said, I think the better question is how many times have you been to the ER with your kids? Don't get me started on the time when my firstborn was a teen and we were waiting in the triage area. Oy vey. Oy vey. I'd actually like him to get started on that because now I want to know what happened. Yeah. Jets31, this was, what's his name? I forgot. I think it's Jets31, actually. No, he's got a real name. Jimmy Attell. Yes. God damn, you're good at that. Not with Brad the dad. No, sorry, but... Sorry. His oldest was 3. She was jumping on her bed. Cousin fell off and hurt her neck. Was that totally like the monkeys jumping on the bed? One fell off and broke her head. Does it say that he went to the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed? Sorry. His daughter was wearing a neck brace. Ooh. Yeah. Well, that makes my anecdote shitty. So there's that. He didn't leave her side in the waiting room, in the examination room. Told the x-ray technicians he'd be sitting with her when she was going to be put in the MRI. I had to get an MRI when I was little because I had seizures. That was scary.
Yikes.
So I know all about that. So he held her hand as they put her upper body in. Turned out she had whiplash, so you can't really take that shit for granted, you know. Like you can't. You gotta,
could, but you're a dick if you do.
You got to see if there's anything seriously wrong. But it's scary for the kid. I mean, kid going through all those like machines and
yeah.
I think that
it was bad enough just getting our kid an X-ray, and that was like out in the open. We have any other interesting ones?
Let's see here.
Wannabe stay-home dad said something about what happened. His 2-year-old tripped and fell against the foot of a metal display, causing an inch-long gash in her eye. Okay, well, I'm done with that one. What did Lizzie Savage say?
She wrote a lot.
She wrote a lot. Lizzie, we love you, but, you know, with the podcast questions, when we ask, we just want we want a nugget. Leave the talking to me.
I need Cliff Notes for this.
Yeah, what did he say? Johnny.
Is it Cliff's Notes or
Cliff's, like Cliff Huxtable's notes. Cliff's notes.
You see what you gotta do here.
The gist of the story is the guy dies at the end. I was trying to come up with like a Twilight thing, but I couldn't even come up with like the storyline for that. Okay, so Johnny, age 5, to the ER for the first time for 106.4 degree fever, which, yikes.
That's
dangerous.
That's dangerous.
Fortunate enough to have pediatrics, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Johnny got whacked with a golf club and split his scalp. Chris, following week, ran up a slide, smashed his head on the top rail, and split his head open again.
I mean,
She's got like a lot of stories here. This is actually really good. I thought it was just like one story. Like, come on.
She's got 2 kids.
The kids are all over. There's 2 sons, so I guess that does it.
Like
Johnny's had 5 major cuts to his head and staples in his head. Okay.
So her parenting philosophy is walk it off, rub some dirt, and if it's broken or excessively bleeding, then we'll go get it fixed.
Yeah.
So,
oh, God.
Yeah. There you go.
BMC Wade said he took his 1-year-old to the ER after croup. It happens. Croup's scary, dude. That like barky cough shit.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for responding, answering questions.
Thank you for responding after we forgot about you for 2 weeks.
Look for our thing. Soon.
Look for our questions again.
Next one.
Because we're going to have them.
Yes.
This is a normal thing we do.
Kind of.
We just missed 2 shows.
So what do we got here?
Don't hate us because we're beautiful. Let's talk about JCPenny. Good on you, JCPenny. Or good on you, : JCPenny features same-sex fathers in ad. Which was not really the real title of the article, but our hosting company was doing an upgrade while I was writing the article, so it kept bouncing shit back. I was so frustrated. I was like laying 3 a.m. F-bombs all over the place.
Those are the best kind of F-bombs.
Anywho. So JCPenny...
So what they do?
They done did it now, as I said. So they had gotten in trouble a while back for taking on Ellen DeGeneres as a spokesperson. Ellen DeGeneres, of course, being gay.
And having amazing
which is a total
girlfriend.
Problem. It's
Yeah.
a problem being gay. In the United States, only 6 states have legalized gay marriage.
Did it just get like really bright in here?
It did, actually.
The
sun came out. So now that we split that one up, I have to say being gay is not a problem. Now that we uncomfortably split that one up, I can't just let that one dangle for a while.
It's a problem.
People are going to be like, they said that gays are bad. No, the whole gay thing, totally cool with most people, or maybe not. I don't know. 6 states have legalized. But JCPenney brought on Ellen DeGeneres as a spokesperson, which admittedly is a gutsy move these days. I mean, it's just, people get nervous about that kind of stuff. This group called 1 Million Moms or 1 Million Mothers went after them for that. And JCPenney stood its ground, which is awesame, and said, fuck you.
Most companies back down from this fucking group. It's like the PETA of like religious hate. And hate.
And JCPenney basically said, no, I believe that her values are aligned with ours. And then the little digital sunglasses came down over the JCPenney's face and
deal with it.
So now JCPenny did an ad for Father's Day featuring two fathers. Oh, and BTW, they're gay. They're together.
Not like us. Like
Not like us. We're only together
straight.
just sexually. But these guys are together like married. So Todd Koch and Cooper Smith, which I think I read somewhere else, they're from Texas.
Do they, I mean, this is going to sound like a stupid question. Do they take each other's last name? Or how does that
Todd
work?
Koch and Cooper Smith. I don't think they're
like
able to, especially in Texas. I don't know. I think... fuck. I don't know. If you're gay and a father, we'd love, number one, to have you write for us. Number two, tell us what you do.
Why don't you...
Because we don't know. We're stupid. We're ignorant.
Take the last name of the other... Like, who decides who takes the last name?
There's no way for me to answer that without making some sort of really inappropriate, like, comment that'll be hilarious to me, hilarious to a couple of you,
I'll have to bleep
and
it.
incredibly bigoted somehow. Unintentionally, of course. But anyway, so these two dads, Todd and Cooper.
So it's an ad.
Koch Smith.
It's an ad.
Are in this ad with their kids. Of course, JCPenny has to mention that they're real fathers. Like, fuck, I hate it when people say real fathers.
Huggies and all that shit.
Yeah. These are real fathers who blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter.
Not like the fake ones that pretend they have kids and really are just borrowing.
Not like those other people that we pay money to, hire, pose, and script. Not like these fucking people that we hired, posed, and scripted. Fucking assholes.
These guys aren't from stock photo library.
But, they are real gay dads. Awesome. Perfect. And the text on it had said, on the top upper right.
First pals.
What makes dad so cool? He's the swim coach, tent maker, best friend, bike fixer, and hug giver, all rolled into one. Or two. Get it? Because there's two dads. And then at the bottom right, it says, real life dads, Todd Koch and Cooper Smith are with their children, Claire and Mason.
That's cool. I mean, I like that they didn't point out, like, these fathers are gay.
Yeah, it's in totally small.
It's
small text.
It's very well done, and it's...
I think that first pals text, I mentioned this kind of up here, like, the wording is a little iffy to me, because I think it seems like they were trying to, like, literally roll these two people into one when they were saying... like he's the swim coach, tent maker, best friend, bike fixer, and hug giver, all rolled into one. Or two, snicker. Like, why wouldn't they just say, like...
This is a normal thing.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to, like, say, basically, like, these two guys are the same. You're like, no, they're not. They're still two completely different people that love each other.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a mom and a dad, they wouldn't say... These are two blah, blah, blah rolled into one. Yeah. Even though, like, parenting, you're supposed to be a team no matter what the fucking genders
true.
are. That's what kind of was a little to me. But every gay website that we went to loved the shit out of this ad, so I've got no problem with it.
I mean...
If you like it, I like it.
We've come along... I think Jon Stewart said this on a Daily Show a couple weeks ago when Obama came out in favor of gay marriage. Mm-hmm. But it's like... When... We've come such a long way where people... are criticizing the president. I mean, we had Bruce Allen on a couple weeks ago, too, talking about the same thing. And he had some decent points about it being an election year and whatever. Mm-hmm. But we've come a really long way if we can say, oh, you're just saying that you were in favor of gay marriage because it's popular. Mm-hmm. 10 years ago, they were like, I think Republicans or people on the right were criticizing the gay marriage thing, like, oh, well, if gays can get married, then you can just marry a turtle, marry a ice cream, and
marry an ice cream. Not something a little more permanent. Ice cream.
Where's the line?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you'll say anything to be popular. And if that's our problem, if that's the biggest problem that we have,
to go along with
we've
popularity.
Succeeded.
Yeah.
Like we've done
amazing. Again, I think I've said this before. Gay marriage is legal in 6 states. Marijuana is legal in 16 or 17 states now. Like, it's funny to me that, like, more people are in favor, like, outright of legalizing marijuana than legalizing gay marriage. Like, there's something weird about that. Now, there's a huge inequity in those two things. I mean, one is a drug/medicine type thing, and the other one is a human rights issue.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you that the human rights issues are really complicated.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of opinions on that. But I don't know. I think it's interesting to think that like gay marriage is like a popular issue, but it's only legal in 6 states, and there's states actively like whatever that was, North Carolina, I think recently.
Well, it took a while for the civil rights movement.
Banned it, so it's like
I
weird.
mean, everyone equates the civil rights movement to like Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. You know, like that's the pinnacle of when shit changed. But it took several years. It took a long time for shit to finally get turned around.
People forget that shit doesn't happen overnight. Like,
and I think people,
especially these days, when you can like
instant,
YouTube, what's
exactly,
up there.
you know.
Like, I can watch something on Netflix right after I think about it. Perfect.
There's no waiting for anything.
We had a couple interesting comments here.
Yeah, Matt Daddy.
Real Matt Daddy had said, pretty sure JCPenny will try anything to get attention.
See, that's what I'm saying.
After the dreadful quarter they just had, 163 million loss.
I mean, the comment's pretty accurate, but at the same time...
But that means that they're going with the popular, like a popular thing, and that means gay marriage must be the popular thing. Huck Starnes said kind of the same thing. He said he sent this to his wife. Her firm sells products to JCPenny. And her reply was, JCPenny needs to make up for the 20 million loss last quarter. And gay dads have money. This is great and makes
that's true. It's like a severely untapped market that I think.
Fuck! I said it to Huggies, and they were like,
"We would love to."
Gays aren't parents.
Find. I mean, for our own selfish indulgence, we would love to find a gay father, not to do anything.
We just want to tap your brain. We just want to figure out what you're all about. Tell us your secrets.
We would love to just have,
we want someone of every.
Yeah, we want to be the melting pot.
We're still looking for a black.
Why do you have to say it?
That's what they're called. An African American. Sorry, they're but they're not from Africa.
I don't know. I don't know what the point.
They're Americans, just like me, but they're black. I'm not a bigot. I'm just just play one on the show. No,
no, we're like
my humor's a little edgy, but if you know me,
if you watch Louis C.K., you'll get us. Okay,
he's a father too.
Yes, he is.
But no, we like good humor. But great for JCPenny. I think it's awesome. I think there needs to be.
It's a good step in the right direction.
There needs to be more of this in a way that they don't have to point it out.
Right. Yeah.
Like there needs to be. They just need to put them in the ad, and that's that. Someone, I forget who. I want to say maybe Huck Starnes, maybe someone else. I don't know. But someone had pointed out that I think they did a gay Mother's Day ad too.
Oh yeah, I think.
Was it Huck? Was it?
I think he's going to write a follow-up response.
Yeah. We're
going to post it.
Yes.
We're going to get it up there pretty soon.
Yes.
So look for the.
Yes. Next story.
What was this? Oh,
Darth Vader and Son.
Book review. Darth Vader and Son.
We love books.
So
more than our kids.
Take
it away.
Book publishers are awesome. Like you ask for a book to review, and they'll be like, "What's your address?"
Thank God. Well, they
Darth
know
Vader and
Prentice
Son
in trouble.
By Jeffrey Brown, which I actually got an email back from, because I sent him the review before it was going to be posted, but he's busy, so he just got back to me.
It's a weekend.
But I did a review on this. And I wanted to sort of kind of get... Because looking at this, you think it's like a children's book.
Totally.
You're like, oh, well, it's drawn like a cartoon. Mm-hmm.
It's got... I mean, the art is awesome.
The art's awesome, yeah.
The art is better, frankly, than the first party Lucasfilm stuff. I think as we talked about last time with the A is for Akbar book.
Yeah, and this one's great. I like that. The Darth Maul.
The Darth Maul, Draw More Good Guys thing.
Yeah, that's good. So it's got some really cute, cheeky kind of humor that's safe for, everyone, especially people that love Star Wars. It's great for them. I was interested in what my 20-month-old would think.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have any books readily available, but she's into the board books where
she
likes those books that you can point and repeat the name of the shit. Like she
where it has like the authentic cat fur sticking out of the page, and you're like, cat.
Kitty.
Yeah.
And we get her to say the names and everything. She knows a lot of words. I think she knows like 100 words now, which is cool. And she knows letters, numbers, and all that shit. So she's really excited about that. So I was kind of interested to see what she would do with this book. So I made a video, and she's clearly not interested in this book at all.
She gives you a few reaffirming sighs.
Well,
when you're like, you read a page and you look at her and you're like, do you like that? And she's like, yeah.
I think she was just
and
excited.
You're like, that sounds like a yes.
She was just excited for me to turn the camera on. We have so many GD pictures of this girl. I think we have like 5,000 pictures on our website. It's ridiculous. But she didn't really get it. The colors aren't that bright for her.
There's just too many words and the pictures are too complicated.
Words, complicated photos.
My 3-year-old wouldn't like that only because there's no Yoda in it.
Yeah.
He's like a Yoda fanatic.
Cornhead?
Yeah, cornhead. Because his forehead wrinkles look like corn, evidently, to him.
It was interesting. We were watching E.T. last night. It was on cable.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. I saw that and was like,
you don't have to watch it. You don't feel bad about it.
I got like a eyelash in my eye.
But she was kind of into it. Like,
oh yeah,
as complicated as that movie is for like a almost 2-year-old.
For me,
like she was really interested in E.T. Like, because I think it looks like a Muppet.
101 Dalmatians was on afterwards with Glenn Close. I skipped that one too.
Me too.
Aliens was on though with Sigourney Weaver.
Alien or Aliens?
Aliens.
Oh. Sequel.
With Paul, what's his name is also on that. Paul Rudd or something.
Giamatti or something?
Not Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. He was like
he's in everything, so.
He was like 5 of them.
No, the what's the dude that was I don't know. Who cares? But that was him.
It's great for kids that have a developed sense of like what Star Wars is. I would say like after 5 would be a great
like kindergarten side or kindergarten preschool.
Yeah,
type.
Someone that's a kid that's seen the movie.
One that's talking, maybe.
Yeah, my daughter, she looks at a ball and she's like, ball.
Yeah.
Like there's Darth Vader on the.
You're like, can you say Vader?
Can you say Darth Maul? It's great for kids that are old enough to understand this.
Yeah.
It's perfect gift for Father's Day.
Yeah.
This would be a great gift for from the significant other, from a friend to another dad that loves Star Wars.
What about like a Dadschler party gift?
That too.
It's kind of like I guess at younger ages it's kind of like the Go the Fuck to Sleep. The Adam Mansbach's book, Go the Fuck to Sleep. It's like more for you than the kids.
Yeah.
It's like, our generation really loves Star Wars. And so something like that book, like it really just thrills the shit out of us, but not kids because all their books are drawn. And
that's why I say it's great for,
older kids,
for older kids and adults, totally. Especially dudes that love Star Wars.
But it's like you really like as an adult you get like the irony of it.
Yeah,
like, you get all like the sarcasm and irony of the pictures.
That's the best part. I think.
So it's like your kid will love that it's Star Wars pictures if you've gotten them into Star Wars, like if they're Lego Star Wars age or something. But
it's the
like
gift that keeps on
like,
giving for the Star Wars fans.
Thumbs up.
We said Star Wars way too many times already.
Star Wars.
Next story.
I'm looking forward to Lucasfilm banning this video off our website for talking about it so much.
But Jeffrey Brown wrote us back and said, thanks, Brian, your daughter's adorable, even if she's not into the book, ...
Yet.
See what he did there?
You should accuse him of like looking at your daughter. Funny. You're like right back. You looking at my daughter? Fucking
What's
pervert.
Up, bro? Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Get away from my daughter.
But great book, Jeff. Look forward to the sequel.
Does he have a sequel?
No.
The prequel. The prequel book.
The prequel to 3.5. Episode 3.5. It's called. So those were the 2 top stories on our website. What do we got elsewhere in the internet?
Something went on.
Let's just
recently.
Let me do mine really quick.
Yeah. You do yours because yours is quick and mine's.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it quick.
We
somehow.
may run out of tape by yours
again, of course.
This one is an interesting sort of video. And it really reminds you of your own kid. It brings you back into that shit. What if this was my kid?
Oh yeah, the first parent worries.
Yeah,
or the first time parent worries. It's like the first world problems, except it's like first time parent.
Yeah.
Problems where like you worry about everything.
This is a video of a 2-year-old boy who's deaf and hears. I don't know if it's his mom. There's a shit ton of stuff going on in this video. Okay, here I'll play it right now. This was originally from The Chive.
Yeah. Do you hear something?
There's like
Hi.
all these people talking,
Yeah.
What's on?
and it's really confusing. And it's probably confusing for this dude too.
But they're like all women.
So
They're all women, and they're going,
now I'm gonna drop
They're all
"Hey,
fawning over him.
welcome to hearing shit," and they're like, "Hello, hello."
Yeah. Hi. Welcome to Earth. Boom. That was Independence Day. Will Smith.
So it's a very sweet
His little celebration is
reaction.
cute.
You know, it's
know,
a
it's
very
like-
sweet reaction. It's not as powerful, I would say, like the video in itself. I mean, this is a great thing that's happening.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing that. I'm sorry.
But
He's thrilled as shit.
yeah, he's thrilled as shit. But it's not as great as that woman, that older lady that. I mean, she's like not an older lady.
Coffee's done. Show's over.
She's like in her 20s, and she's hearing for the first time, and she's like, you know, when
Yeah.
that's like.
I
holy
feel like
shit.
there's a lot of these videos have been out recently.
Yeah.
Of different ages.
Well, the technology is really catching up with
Like
us.
something must have just happened where people made hearing work.
No. Can I have it?
Well, I mean, it's these devices and shit, like implants, have been.
They're not quizzing them enough. There's like, can I have the fishy? And they put their hand out, and you're like, oh, see, you can hear me. You're like, no, dude, you got to hold your hands at your side, and then say, can I have the fishy?
But you know, the only problem that I have with this video is like they're treating him like a toy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look what he can do now. You
Yeah.
know, like, and it's just.
Look what new skill you learned. Can you roll over?
I mean, I realize.
Can you sit up? Here, go get the ball.
I realize he's 2 and he doesn't know anything really.
Yeah, it's tough. We were talking about this before the show about
Yeah.
treating your kid like a dog.
Yeah.
Not your kid, but like when you're like before
playing
your
fetch
kid.
with them.
Yeah, before you're like when your kid just learns how to walk, you're like, go get that toy. You know,
Yeah.
they run across the room and bring it back, and you're like, good boy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're doing to him.
So
I see them.
I mean, this is great.
Are you playing with the blocks?
Well, and
I
thank
ju- I
God
just
we're at
don't
the
know
point.
what-
Thank God we're at the point that like science is able to do this now.
Yeah. God damn it.
There's going to be a lot of these videos now, just like the creative marriage proposals. There's going to be a lot of kids learning how to hear on the
Yeah.
fly or something. I don't know.
So
We shouldn't be too cynical. That was a
Check
good
that video out. We'll link it in the actual story to the chive and
The Chive.
the chive, whatever you want to call it.
I just like to mispronounce things.
Hey, can we clean up?
I can't imagine if my daughter was born deaf and.
Oh, God, we've had this conversation far too many times. Not you and me, my wife and I.
But you know, like, one last thing about the video, you know, I can possibly say that they've probably have been working on this for a while, and this is like the video that they've just taken of the progress, and it was, you know, they're like, oh, just put it online, and suddenly went viral.
There's probably some other videos of him not hearing.
Yeah.
That
Well, I mean,
were less successful.
that's probably why they're so, you know.
There's the 200 count video that.
It's not like an
watching, like-
instant like sea change. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, oh, well, look what we can do now.
But
So
again,
maybe-
that's what the internet tells you is that everything's boom happens.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know the situation, but it looks, you know, good on the kid
Yeah.
and the doctors
And-
and the parents for
And congratulations.
facilitating.
I hope your insurance pays for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be a cynic about that
Yeah.
video because that's stupid.
Because it's incredible and miraculous.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
But don't treat your kid like a dog.
Speaking of incredible and miraculous,
Speaking of incredible and miraculous, have you ever heard of Dan Pierce, Single Dad Laughing? So let me tell you a quick overview of Dan Pierce. So he writes these sensationalist pieces under the name Single Dad Laughing. And evidently he cries too. That's coming up. But
Nothing wrong with crying.
nothing wrong with crying. As
crying while you're writing.
as Dan SDL says. But he writes these pieces that go they've gone viral. I blame women. And he says in some of the pieces, here's the problem that a lot of people have with him, is he says specifically in some of these pieces, this is the most important thing you'll ever read. And I read everything with like the honey badger voice
Yeah.
of his, because you just gotta.
You have to.
You have to. I don't know where we picked this up from, but everything is like honey badger.
Even that photo that we
even the yeah.
I just stood there with this 2 dildos while everyone passed me.
Did we already do the dildos thing?
I don't know. We're doing
We're doing it again. But
for security, for buffer.
just making sure.
Yep.
But yeah, but I mean that's fuck. Anyway, so he a while back, Beta Dad, who fellow Californian.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's in like
Redlands?
San Diego,
I don't know. I said
Escondido,
Redlands.
somewhere Redlands,
Whatever. Bakersfield.
Irvine, Southern Irvine.
Bakersfield is a shithole. Don't ever go there.
It really is.
Thanks to all our fans in Bakersfield.
Yeah, what's his name lives there?
Who?
I forget his name. Jason Sperber. Oh, I got a story about that one I got to tell you after the show. Got to tell you that one. Anyway, so Beta Dad had written an article at some point basically saying, look, SDL, I'm calling you out. Your shit is fake. I fucking hate you. You're out of control. You're making dad bloggers look like idiots. None of those are quotes.
You're a soulless
Nazi. Yeah, you never said that either. But so I mean, Beta Dad really laid into him and said like, your shit is fake. It's sensationalist. The things that you say are over the top, and they're specifically over the top just to get hits. Your website can't be, it can't be honest. It's written by multiple people just saying that they're you. So the notorious SDL took a little time off while all of us talked shit about him. And
did he not post on his website for a couple of weeks, or did he?
He posted on his website. He just didn't address that.
Oh, okay.
But then all of a sudden this came up and was liked evidently 100,000 times.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Actually, it might just be the people that like him.
Oh,
not
you know,
this
I
article,
think
yeah.
that's
Him,
not the article.
his kid, and his dog. Whatever. So anyway, SDL, the notorious SDL, wrote back this article recently saying, Beta Dad ruining daddy blogging. So he calls out Beta Dad and some of the other bloggers at Dad Centric for basically doing their part to ruin the dad blogging world before it can ever find its wings.
Why would he pick on Dad Centric? I mean,
I think Beta Dad might do stuff with Dad Centric. Maybe, I don't know. All these guys write.
So since he's like associated with them,
all these dudes write
has
for
to
each
call
other,
them out
except
too?
us. We're like the fucking island.
We're the
Somehow, no one wants us to write for them.
We're like Lost. We're the Lost Island. No one can find us, and we
have a big black smoke monster.
Yeah.
Ooh, spoiler alert. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I fucking lost my place on this. I've read this like 50 times and I can't even figure out what he's saying. But, he starts out the article basically saying that like in the history of dad blogging, again, honey badger voice, I apologize, many mom bloggers have grown big blogs with really big followings. As of the summer of 2010, not a single dad blogger was able to find such success, even though many of them had been trying for some time.
When did he become like the admiral of dad blog?
Like Captain Dad Blog, I know. It's why when I started my blog that year, yeah, he did, it's 2010. I had no dreams of it ever going big or seeing the kind of success that other mom bloggers had seen. Here's where it starts to get a little like, that's a violin.
I thought it was like a
like a trombone that you played with your hands instead of like a
no, like a theremin. I thought you were playing.
We're gonna run out of tape again.
You didn't know that.
So he had said, but my blog did go big for some reason. I still don't know why. Like, again, fuck you. Like, Dan, I love you and I hate you. And it did so in a hurry. Within 4 months of starting it, it was by far the most heavily trafficked personal dad blog on the internet. And it's really never taken a step back from that.
I don't argue with that. But
I know, congrats.
Seriously, jack off in the corner somewhere.
And it's all chicks, so jack off on their faces. If you love them so much. And if that semen gets you popular, I'll take some too. Just save it in a little vial and drink it later. Anyway, so he said Beta Dad. He called Beta Dad out for like a list of like 5 different reasons or something. So he said Beta Dad claimed that my blog must be written by multiple writers posing as one blogger. His reason: nobody has that much time to post on their blog. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I blog every day. Whatever. Number 2, Beta Dad completely discredited me as a writer. Solely, this is the best one. I fuck this up every time I read it. He discredited me as a writer based solely on the fact that I've been divorced twice. That's not the one I fuck up every time.
It's the crying.
That one's, yeah, unfortunately, that one's difficult. Okay, Beta Dad called me out as fraudulent in my writing. His basis was that I write that I have cried while writing or while dealing with certain things. Like, again, like, I've cried sometimes, like, when I've written, just because it was, like, touching to me or whatever. Like, when I wrote the piece about losing my job, and I was, like, kind of, like, tearing up and, like, whatever. But I wasn't like, as I'm writing this, I'm crying. Like, which evidently
I had that moment where I was
SDL
writing about
does.
my daughter and like having her save me from jail.
Yeah, totally.
well,
Like,
thanks.
yeah, like just gets a little like shit at someone cutting onions. So,
But this guy.
so single dad laughing, and once you get to that point of the article, you're like, you know what, fuck you, up your ass, fuck you. Take one of those water bottles that you gave to those women and shove it up your ass, Dan.
I like how he liked our photo.
But yeah, of the
It's like, where did you find
where'd
that
you guys
photo?
find that one?
It's my personal stash.
After the honey badger shoot, I blah 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 blah. So single dad laughing. You got to read his article. It's on dannoah.com, DANOAH.com. You can just Google single dad laughing.
If you start, oh no, it doesn't come up.
If you just type D,
If you just type D, it just comes up.
But single dad laughing. He actually says that Beta Dad had left comments on his blog with other names, and he has proof from the IP addresses.
Oh my god. This is
Which
like high school shit.
he could be posting from a public library.
Only sociopaths and like narcissists
Check the IP addresses.
check the IP addresses and like. No, but
I do because I leave comments on our blog. I'm like, this person's name's going to be Jesse. Awesome article, Zach. You fucking nailed it.
Oh, so you're Lizzie Savage.
You should be president.
Now we know.
I don't do
No,
that
but I mean, like, to
anymore.
write a post like this and spend at least, I don't know, how long does it take you to write something like this?
I mean,
Dan?
this is a lot.
This
but
is a lot.
Same IP address was responsible for the vast majority of these comments. I mean, look, if he's right, he's right. Like, that's where you got to give him credit. If he's right, he's right.
Does he have proof?
He does say he has screenshots that say that like have the IP addresses and shit.
But the back end of it.
And to his favor, he doesn't have a picture of himself as his background that you could see. So I think that's good. But he also says there's an email exchange somewhere and says like, you don't want this to get out. You don't want this email exchange to get out. Evidently, Beta Dad probably said something like, I will fucking ruin you. Whatever, it's fine. Here's the thing. No one's going to side with, well, no, I won't say no one's going to side with single dad laughing. A lot of people are going to side with Beta Dad on this because Beta Dad looks like the more rational of the two in his normal everyday writing. And that's what happened. So who's right in this situation? I don't know. Are we wrong for loving to watch this stuff happen?
Nope.
I hope not, because
This is
gold.
is the sweet nectar.
This is sweet
that
dad
we
blogging
feed
gold.
on.
Man, women, the mom bloggers have been doing this shit for years, and I have not been able to fucking just wait for this to happen to us. So anyway, yeah, he has these like posts with like the IP addresses circled.
Oh my
and-
god, dude! It's like an investigation or something.
I know, it's
he's
like-
putting out there for the world to know that he's not been thwarted by some other dad blogger.
By some Californian piece of shit. We're from California.
Dude.
So if you would like to feud with us, this shit is great for business.
Tell us we suck.
We would love to feud with someone. Come at us.
Come at us,
Get
bro.
us. Okay, so let's end the show before we
Before we run out of tape again.
get going on Dan again. Pierce.
We can spend a whole show on it.
We could
if
do it.
wanted.
We should have him out. We should fly him out.
We should fly him out. Where does he live?
We'll take our dad summit pot and put it towards the Bring Dan Pierce to California fund.
So you can contact us and suggest stories to us by emailing us at dads@8bitdad.com, or you can learn how to become a writer for our website, which is going to email now. Was that a sentence?
Send us a self-addressed stamped envelope with your submission.
We take carrier birds too. Pigeons.
It's
Bast contribute.
contributed.
There you go.
You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/8bitdad.
You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/8bitdads.
And you can repin our shit on Pinterest, and that's pinterest.com/8bitdads.
Hang out with Google on. Fuck.
It's long. It's been a long morning.
Yeah. God.
So,
G+.to.
dot stuff.
So that's it for this week's episode of 8-Bit Dad. I'm Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg.
Until next week, go Kings!
Don't show your parents or your kids our show. Did we end the show?
Yeah.
I forget doing the outro.
we
I just like get in the zone, and then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, where am I?